welcome. I do weekly pick-a-card readings on various topics, and this week it's going to focus on current life lessons you are learning and guidance on how to master these. So I'm going to cut to a clip shortly where you can get a better look at all these piles and choose. There are timestamps in the description box below, and you can fast forward to your pile. So let's begin. Okay, whenever you're ready, take a second, take a deep breath, and pick which pile resonates with you. Try to pick with your intuition as opposed to your eyes. This is group 1, group 2, and group 3. If you need to pause the video, please do so. And once you pick your pile, we will begin. Okay, for anybody who picked group 1, this is your reading. Let's see what we have in store for current life lesson that you're mastering and guidance on how to work through that. Let's see what we got here. The first card we have is transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing is occurring. Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion. Priestess, mystic, teacher. Next up we have acceptance. See yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. Okay. Next, we have reward yourself. You've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. Make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. This balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. We also have the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful new beginnings card, and we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, let me take a minute to tune into the energy of group 1. And we will start your reading. Just a second. So I'm feeling like if you were drawn to this pile, the current lesson that you are trying to work towards is revolving around self-acceptance and coming into yourself. So this could be a struggle that you've been going through for a long time. Most of you, it could be a lifelong journey. But there is this sense that you're stepping into your power and you're starting this new journey of just blooming into yourself. So in the past, you could have had issues with putting yourself first, speaking up for yourself, having confidence, self-esteem, all of that. But there's new beginnings coming your way. And so I'm getting the sense that some of you guys had a traumatic childhood and you were working through some sort of tragedy that you've had happen in your life that really stripped your sense of self. It really molded, your security. And I think that this lesson that is unfolding currently is really deep-rooted into childhood. So knowing that, you might be able to connect whatever event or events this might relate to, but just know that this pattern is starting to dissolve right now, and you're transforming into a new being. So everything happens in cycles, and what's happening here is this cycle has been really long. I mean, depending on how old you are or when this event happened, but I'm sensing it's childhood related. So this would be definitely before your teens. This was younger years, and you're just entering a new period right now where you're not, things are changing throughout your whole body. So you're feeling different, but not just, okay, so I'm getting the sense that you're almost complete on this lesson. So that's really exciting. So this isn't like you've just started this journey, like you've really been working hard and you're coming to the end of this cycle, you're coming to the end of this lesson. And you might not even have been aware that this was happening, especially if you're not in tune spiritually or whatever the case, but you might be. But the thing is, the work was being done even if you didn't realize it at the time or right now. So there is a big message to credit yourself and to take the time to be proud of all the work you've done in this journey of overcoming your childhood. You know, everyone's childhood has different events that happen that could be traumatic, but this group in particular, I'm feeling this event was really heavy, or these events just all around, and you really carried it with you for a long time. And you might not have realized it until even recently, or not at all, that what you went through as a kid really affected how you were in relationships, how you viewed the world, how you viewed yourself, most importantly, and that was tarnished for a really long time, and you didn't deserve that. So with this card, the Seven of Swords, this is where I was drawn to the childhood thing. But the good piece about 7 is it's a highly spiritual number. It's a very complete number. So this tells me, and I was getting it in, that you guys are pretty much done. Like, you've learned this lesson. And the lesson really has to do with not letting outside sources affect who you are, and not letting people affect your self-esteem and your identity and your sense of self. But this, Spirit wants you to know that you shouldn't blame yourself for what happened as a child, and you shouldn't expect that you were able to not let it affect you, because children don't have those coping skills, and children don't know that. This is the first time many of you were shown love in that way or whatever, and as you build that, the people around you, especially guardians and parents, really shaped that. So if you had a tough childhood in regards to parenting or the people that your close family, you just know that it's not your fault and that you're working through it, and you have to release that blame. I'm sensing that a lot of you guys carry a lot of blame from what happened. This doesn't have to be a specific event. This could just be an accumulation of your childhood. I'm seeing a new start coming though, especially with the Ace of Pentacles. Like, this is a new beginning, and you're finally moving out these really, really old feelings. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with inner child work and what that means, but right now is a great time to incorporate that. So if you're working with your inner child, what you would do is you do a lot of playful things, and you do things in a joyful manner, and you live life light, and don't take things so seriously, and don't be so hard on yourself. Get out in nature and be playful and do artistic things. All of that is really good to nurture your inner child. But this is really positive. So I was feeling heavy with whatever type of stuff had gone on when you were younger. But the great piece is you're moving out of this. So this huge lesson that has been pretty much lifelong, however old you are, is finally moving out. So just know that, and know that all that burden that you carry is slowly and slowly and slowly getting more faded out, and you've learned from that, and you've understood it. So, this is a really incredibly healing time for you. And sometimes as kids we don't even realize that certain things affect us in the way that they do it, and that's the thing. So you may not be understanding or resonating with what I'm saying, and that's okay, but just know that a lot of things that maybe you went through as a child, you were told was normal or didn't seem like a huge trauma, actually could have been a really big trauma. So try and take some time to reflect if this isn't resonating on what maybe I could be referring to in your own life. Yeah, there's just some big changes coming because it's happening at such a deep level. Yeah, I'm really getting a strong message to release guilt. Get rid of that. Whatever guilt you're carrying through any situation. It doesn't have to be just, the childhood thing that I've been talking about, but any type of guilt you carry in your endeavors with people, or just how you are and stuff, like if you're being hard on yourself, just release that, because it's blocking you from moving forward. You know, you're right there at the bridge and you're ready to cross, but all these barriers are at the front, and the cones that are blocking it are your guilt, and the inability to accept yourself for who you truly are. If you can master those two things, you're going right over the bridge. You know, you're getting to this new beginning that is so nice. It's so good to start fresh. You're going to feel just so light. And some of you guys might have even picked up on this. You're just feeling a new chapter coming through. You're feeling good. You're feeling like something's ending and new things are coming in. And it might not even be physical things and you know, in your everyday life. It might just feel like on an emotional level. And that's amazing. That's really, truly great. You know, right now it's really important to just take time to love yourself and others. So if you can be a little less judgmental, if you can, you know, just spread love. Like, those negative, it's not to say that you're not going to have a bad day or emotions aren't going to come up or anything like that, but just try and choose every day to move forward and to be light in the world, because the world really needs that. Especially like some of the best people that become light workers and healers and all that, and you know, the people that you just love to be around, those are people that have often had really traumatic lives. They've had really heavy experiences that they've learned from, and that's what I'm sensing. Like, you guys are headed somewhere very spiritual, and you're gonna impact people through what you've gone through, which is, you know, it's all part of the plan. I'm sensing that some of you guys might not even feel that you're at this point. You might have been feeling so down and just so heavy lately that you're kind of blinded to it. But just know that as the weeks progress and as time is going on, you're going to start to feel this more. It's going to start to come in, and you're going to start to just have a shift in your mindset. I'm even feeling like a particular person in your life, so this might be somebody in your life now or somebody coming in your immediate future, they really triggered this breakthrough that you're having with this lesson. They really brought it full circle. So I don't know the dynamic of the relationship per se, because this is a general reading, but let's just say they basically opened up all these wounds that maybe you didn't even know you had, and they triggered things and whatever, but this was really helpful. So if you're thinking of somebody that this fits, just understand that they were really important in your life. Even if they're not in your life now, even if they are, even if you haven't even met them yet, they're coming and this starts to happen. They're there for a reason. They're put in your life to end this cycle. You know, this is like you're at the very end and you really had to like integrate. That's the word I was trying. Integrate everything. And this person was very indicative of that. So be aware if there's someone in your life that fits this mold, or if in the next few months somebody comes in and this starts to happen. Because this person is incredibly important to your spiritual journey. So I'm also being told that this, you know, the child version of yourself that went through this tough time, they need to be reminded and taken care of. So even though, you know, you're grown up and you're an adult or whatever age you are watching this, you know, that child still lives within inside you, and they need to know that they're safe and they're loved, and, you know, everything's okay. So sometimes just setting the intention that you're releasing the fear or the blame or whatever you felt during childhood, just setting the intention to release that. Because really, you're just like, I just feel good about the fact that you guys are almost done. Like, you basically already learned this lesson, but I'm feeling like you were called to watch the video and pick this pile because you might not have been aware that this was happening. So if you weren't, I'm so glad you found this, and I hope that this is helpful for you as you go on. So there is one last piece, is just advice from Spirit right now. Is to forgive. I'm getting like the sense that this is probably something that's really hard, trying to move forward from this lesson. It's like the last step is like that full forgiveness, and forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to have the person or back in your life, but it releases you from the pain, from the hurt, and all that. Because you don't need those emotions like anger and jealousy and hate and all that are lower vibrational energy, and you're moving up, you're raising your vibration, so you don't need that. You need the light emotions. So get rid of those, trash them. If you can't find it in your heart to forgive that person, set the intention that you're going to release the emotions, at least, that are associated with this lesson. I hope that this made sense for you guys. I hope that it was clear and you got something from it. Please subscribe and like and comment, do whatever. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I will see you again next week for another reading. Thank you. Hello and welcome to anybody who picked Group 2. This will be your reading, focusing on your current life lesson that you're trying to master and some guidance on that. So let's see what we got going on here. First card we have is the Crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Okay. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. Okay, this tells me there's a lot of empaths watching this video, whether you know it or not. Energy work. Life can be electrifying because its very essence is energy. Your body is a remarkable energy field that will positively respond to loving treatments. Your hands and your heart are activated to give healing energy to your loved ones and clients. Wow. So, I'll wait till I finish all the cards to start, but this is interesting. Cleanse and detoxify. With great love and respect, we ask you to detoxify your precious and sensitive body. At your request, we'll help you to develop life-affirming ways to deal with stress, as well as ease any sorrow at shedding your old ways. Give your cares, worries, and concerns to us, the angels, and feel the beautiful grace of your newly purified body. Tarot deck, we have Four of Wands, and we have Justice. Okay, so probably most all of you watching, if you don't already know it, are an empath or a highly sensitive person. If you don't know the difference, an empath is somebody that feels the emotions of others and can easily identify, but the difference being that they feel it as if it's their own emotions. They're very sensitive to energy and people around them. They can become easily drained and deal with a lot of anxiety, and it can be hard to disconnect. So it can be hard to understand where your emotions end and the other person's begin. Especially if you're not developed in your senses, this can be really difficult. I'm an empath and I've gone through a lot of work to figure it out, but I'm still far from knowing it all. I'm right there with you guys. But also you could just be a highly sensitive, which on the spectrum is just a little bit further down, so you might not be as empathic as an empath, but you have introverted tendencies. You like to you need to go home and recharge, like after being around people. You don't really like loud noises. Crowds can be incredibly draining, things like that. So given that you guys are really sensitive, I'm getting the feel that your life lesson that you're mastering right now is how to understand who you are, how to understand this sensitive side to you. So for some of you guys, I'm sure maybe you've already had it down and you really understand and know who you are. But there's a lot of you I'm sensing that are really early on in this journey of figuring yourself out, and then there's some that might not even have known what the word empath is, and this is the first time you're hearing it. So, you know, wherever you're at, we're going to work through this on the reading and figure out what Spirit wants you to know right now. So, you know, you're being called. I don't know if you guys are spiritual or already work in that field, but you're being called to do so if you don't. And that doesn't mean that you have to do it as a profession. This can be as a hobby, but working with people. This could be Reiki, this could be doing what I do, tarot reading, this could be crystal healing. There's all types of ways that you can work with people. So just figuring out maybe what interests you and what you'd be good at. But if you're not feeling drawn to the spiritual side, this could even be being a therapist. A lot of therapists are highly intuitive and they're empathic, and that's what makes them great, because they're able to really feel what's going on with their clients. I'm feeling a very like restless energy, almost borderline like anxious. Like I got very like sped up when I started tuning into the energy of this reading. So it's feeling like you guys have been just going like a wheel that keeps spinning, and you're really being asked to take some time to, you know, I don't know what I meant by that. Really being asked to take some time for yourself and get grounded. If you don't meditate, this would be a really good time to get into it. This doesn't mean you have to sit on a pillow and put your hands like this. This could simply be a guided meditation for 5 minutes. This could be closing your eyes and breathing, you know, just taking some time to stop your thoughts and being present in the now, however that suits you. And that's not to say if you do traditional meditation that's wrong or anything like that. It's whatever you feel comfortable with, that works for you. As an empath though, it can be really hard to say no to others and really hard to understand what's going on with yourself. So I really highly recommend, if you weren't aware that you're an empath, or you don't feel like you know enough about it, to research it, to read into it more, because there's so much to learn about yourself, and it's going to be like that missing puzzle piece. It really is. Oh, some of you guys are getting a new love coming into your life. But what does that have to do with your lesson right now? Okay, so this might have just happened recently, or it might be coming in the next few months. There's going to be someone though in your life that's going to be pushing your boundaries as an empath, and kind of basically being a lesson for you to get all your abilities and stuff under control. For some of you, this could be a love interest, but for others, it could just be someone in your life, a friend, a colleague, a boss, a child, anything. So somebody that's around you a lot. This person's going to be important to teach you basically how to harness and how to get grounded and understand yourself and create these boundaries that you're really needing. Because I'm feeling like this like overworked, like anxious, drained energy from you guys that nobody wants to be stuck in that. You don't have to be either. So the crumbling. So this is synonymous to me to the Tower card, which is big, abrupt changes that are coming, you know, that just basically shake everything up in your life to realign you, and to make those changes that you need on a deep level. So ask yourself, you know, what are you holding on to that's not working anymore? You know, what parts of yourself, what relationships, what dynamics in your life, what lifestyle choices are just not good for you, are just not working, they don't feel right anymore. Go with that. If they don't feel right, you know, figure out a way to either do them less or get rid of them. That sounded funny, do them less. But you get what I'm saying. So I'm feeling so like, I keep doing that because I'm feeling like you're feeling like you can't get your bearings lately. So yeah, you really need to take some time for yourself and, you know, disconnect from the world and from everybody. However you see fit. That's the important piece. So you don't have to do anything that you don't feel comfortable with and that's not you. You just have to take some time away from others and center your thoughts. Things are going to get easier once you can do that. Also, there could be some of you guys that your diet is really needing your help. You're being asked to drink more water and to eat healthier foods and just try and, you know, get rid of things that aren't good for you. So smoking, if you're drinking excessively, doing drugs recreationally or whatever. You're being called to try and lessen those things, to see more clearly, to feel into yourself and all that. I'm really getting a spiritual sense from this group. I'm feeling like it's a big calling, as it is with most empaths, to come into themselves and to do the work so that you can spread that work with others and you can help others in this life. So not everybody gets to that point, and it's a choice. You always have free will, but you know, this group in particular is being called to do that work. And I know the work's not easy. I'm on this journey as well. It's incredibly tiring at times, but it's so fulfilling when you really step into yourself and you realize your purpose. So you're being called to recognize your purpose, and if you were feeling purposeless, let this be a confirmation that this is your purpose, is to help others. So figuring out ways to do that, whether it be, like I said, in traditional spiritual work, energy work, or in a career like a therapist or a teacher even. Like, you know, there's many, many ways you can help people and just connect. And that's the important part, is to connect. Spirit's asking you to find ways to share what you've gone through, what you know. Recently, I came across something that explained that empaths' main purpose in this world is to validate other people's emotions. And that really stuck with me, because for a while I'm thinking, you know, as an empath, your work is to understand people so that you can help them and you know what they're going through when you just, you know, you're standing next to someone and you just feel it. But the validation piece was something I didn't really think of that's so important, because as humans, we just want to feel validated. We just want to know that someone understands us. And that's what empaths were put on this earth to do, is to understand what someone's going through to help them. So it's not just hearing their story, but it's feeling it like it's yourself. So you connect in a deeper level than a lot of people. And that's an amazing gift that I understand can be really tough to master, but it is such a gift, and you have to remember that it's not a curse, it's a gift. So that is something I'm feeling that you guys really need to hear, because you're so drained lately. This Tower card is great because it's foreseeing this change that you guys are needing to get rid of this dense energy that's been in your life, to get rid of this, like, so I'm hearing the word frivolous, and I'm getting the sense that you guys have been a little careless in life lately. But not so much like careless, like you're just doing things impulsively. It's more like you're moving too quick, and things aren't getting done the right way. So the message here is to slow down. Try and take a deep breath and remember to slow down. Because mistakes happen when we're moving too quick, and we can't even think clearly if we're not taking the time to check in with ourselves. So just make sure you guys are doing that. I'm feeling like very defeated, that there's just not a sense of good coming to you, that you just feel like bad things just keep happening to you. And you're waiting for those blessings, you're waiting for that positive energy that you want, and you deserve in your life. The message here is that it's coming, but you have to understand that in order to get to that good, you have to go through this. So a lot of times you're basically being put in all these obstacles and shown these life lessons and hardships because it's for a higher purpose. And I know it's kind of like a lot of you guys are sitting here probably thinking, well, I didn't sign up for this, or like, why me? Or, you know, not everybody, I understand it's just so hard, like I do get that, but you have to understand that you're chosen, it's a higher purpose. I'm not saying it like you're the chosen ones, like you're better than everybody else. No, I'm just saying, like, understand this about yourself, that you have an incredibly amazing gift to feel in a world that tells you not to. And you need to learn to harness these gifts and use them because they're amazing. And they're going to bring healing to the world, but you have to heal yourself first. If you can't do that, you're never going to be able to heal other people. So you have to trust and not be attached to these outcomes, and trust that you're going to get the justice, you're going to get that feeling and those rewards. You just have to go through these. So try, when bad things happen, try and just understand, instead of asking why it's happening to you, ask, like, what is it trying to teach me? You know, why am I going through this? So you're really being asked to get in touch with your spiritual side if you haven't already, because it's going to be really important in your decision making at this time. So the lesson really does have to do with learning more about yourself and coming into your true empathic, sensitive self. Don't discount this part of you. I know that a lot of times people can make you feel bad for that, but you have to embrace it and you have to own it, because that's when these benefits are going to come in, and that's when you're going to be able to help people, is when you own it. You know, treat yourself nice, do good things for yourself, say no, create the boundaries, because you're here for a higher purpose. And you know, you might have been resisting this change, like maybe your abilities have been heightening, your intuition, your emotions, you becoming more sensitive, and a lot of times this can manifest physically with anxiety or getting sick or headaches, all of that. So you've just been feeling shitty or tired and all that. But that's just your body telling you that you need to make changes. It's your body saying, hello, notice me, like, help, I need some help here. So that's really what's happening. It's not to make you feel bad. It's not the universe punishing you. It's so that you can understand what's going on. It's kind of like the universe nudging you, saying, hey, like, you have these abilities that you need to figure out how to use. So the change is coming with this card, the crumbling card. So try and take some time to figure out what it is you're holding on to. And it might be, for a lot of you guys, I'm feeling that it's letting go of, you know, trying to be someone you're not. Letting go of trying to be this, like, hardo. That's the word I'm hearing. Like, you guys are trying to be a hardo, and, like, I don't mean that in an insulting way. It's funny that that word came in. But being sensitive and emotional is beautiful. You get to connect to the world in such a different way, in a non-blocked way, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, you know, I think it just starts with accepting that you're not, you know, you're an emotional person, you're not going to be a cold person, because that's not why you're here. So as soon as you can understand that and accept that, you're going to open up doors, and you're going to start to understand yourself better. That's all I'm getting for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please, please, please subscribe if you did, like, comment. If you have any questions or suggestions for me, feel free to reach out. Until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you for watching. Okay, anybody who picked group 3, this is your reading, and we're going to be talking about the question of what lesson am I learning right now, and guidance on that. So, let's see what the cards have to say about the major lesson that you guys are going through. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? no. Wait, postpone, pause, and say no. No is a theme for this reading. No. Learning to say no. Next we have let your past go. The burden of carting your past around has made you weary. It's time to set this burden down and keep only the lessons and the love and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and now it's gone. Next we have play. Beloved one, it's time to set aside work for a while. Don't worry, we will oversee your responsibilities to their completion. Playfulness, laughter, and joy will lift your energy so that you'll return to work with a renewed perspective and heightened energy. From the tarot deck, we have the King of Wands. We also have the Two of Swords. Okay, so let me tune into the energy for a minute so I can figure out what is going on and what lesson you guys are currently trying to master. Okay, so for you guys, the lesson that you're currently trying to get past right now has to do with letting go, letting the past go, learning to say no, and not being attached to outcomes. So you have to trust where you're at. It's feeling like a lot of you guys have been questioning where you're at and the choices you've made, what's going to happen. There's a lot of worry towards the future, and there's a lot of thoughts and energy being put into the past. But here's the thing, like if we're splitting ourselves in the past and the future, worrying about what's happening tomorrow, and overthinking what happened yesterday, where is there room for the now? So you're really being asked to sit in the present and live your life according to what's in front of you, what's happening right now. We create our reality with our thoughts, and a lot of times you can become stuck in a reality that's you're not even living. The past is the past. It's gone and it's no longer here. The future hasn't even happened. So if you're spending a lot of time in the past or the future, you're in a reality that's not even the one that you're living. So you're really being asked and guided to live in the present right now and enjoy what's going on in front of you without worrying so much. I'm feeling that you're eager to know what's happening next, and just know that you're not going to receive those answers that you're looking for if you're worrying so much and if you're hoping for certain outcomes. I understand, as a human, we all want things to happen and we all, dream, but you have to learn to shut that part off and just know that everything is unfolding the way it's supposed to. So that's the important piece. Everything is happening in perfect timing. If you can set that intention every morning to just say that to yourself, that you trust what's going on, because that's the biggest barrier to things moving and to manifesting, is trusting the universe, trusting that this is your path and this is what's happening. So I'm feeling like a lot of you guys are holding back from a decision that you want to make because you're worried about the outcome. You're worried about something. And this is a general reading, so I can't, for some of you it could be worrying about a career, it could be worrying about a life change, a move, a relationship, ending a friendship, starting a new job, going back to school, whatever the case is, that something that you're worrying about right now, it's not serving you to worry about it because you're going to be supported on your path. I know this is difficult, and it kind of, in a way, I'm not saying, don't worry at all, just screw it, I'm going to live my life, but you have to trust that the major events in your life are going to play out regardless of what you do. You have to just trust that you're thinking about these choices and you're following your intuition, and the rest is history. You can't, that's it, that's all you have, I'm thinking it'd be good for some of you guys to take a vacation right now too, or a staycation, take some time off work. It's just feeling like you've been overworking yourselves, and mental exhaustion is just really high for you guys. So you need to really find time for yourself and to clear your headspace, because it's really affecting you. And I'm seeing, like, with the Two of Swords, if you look, like, she has these swords crossing her and this blindfold on. She's purposefully blinding herself, not even realizing it. So this is what I'm seeing, that you guys are blinding yourself to your reality right now with whatever thoughts and worries, because worry and fear is a low vibrational energy. You don't want that in your life, because it's really it's tainting the outcome. It's tainting your perspective right now. You want to step into this King of Wands energy. You want to step into this intuitive, grounded, peaceful energy that knows and trusts that what's coming to them is for their highest good. You know, understanding that your path is already laid out for you, and what's meant for you will always be for you. That's the thing. You have to let go, because if it's meant to be, it'll be. Like, it's an age-old saying, but it's so true. It really is. And, you know, sometimes the things that we want most right now end up being the things that we are so glad didn't work out. So I understand in the present, you want something to work out. Your heart is just in it. But years from now, you look back and you're like, I'm so glad that didn't work out. Like, what was I thinking? And that's the beauty of life, is you go through cycles of learning these things and having these experiences. Now is not really a good time to make any major decisions. That's what I'm getting. So take some time to think about it, and to wait a little bit and pause and tune into how you're feeling before you react. So instead of immediately giving people an answer, step back and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What's going on for me? But also, with this card, it's a no, and it's about saying no, but it also can be, if you're like really feeling like you've been looking for an answer in something major in your life, it might be a no, but I don't know what exactly that could be. So if you're feeling like that, take some time to tune into yourself, because I can't answer questions for you. I'm not a fortune teller, I'm not a mind reader. I'm just here to give you guidance on your current situation. So you also have free will to make choices. So don't take that as, you know, a confirmation that whatever you've been thinking about is a no. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm feeling like you have this like dark cloud around you, and it's basically your thoughts. But what you're failing to see is everything in your world around you right now is opening up for you. Everything is so bright and illuminating and full of experiences, but the negativity that you're carrying around is blinding you to that. So here you are in this picture, and this dark figure amongst all this light that you're not seeing because you're blinding yourself. And you might not even be aware that you're doing that. So this is a huge message right now, to understand that you may be, you might have been doing this lately, and you need to recognize that and try to figure out how to let that go. So what was going on in your past that you're having trouble letting go? What is this regarding for you guys? For some of you, I'm feeling this has to do with a mother figure. There might be a dispute with a mom that you're having trouble forgiving, or a motherly figure in your life. With, if it's not your mom, maybe an older sister, or somebody you view like that. For some of you, that could be the case. Letting go of that situation. But understanding that there's a lesson that had to be learned from that, and that had to happen for a reason. For others, it could be a certain situation you made in the past that you're just overplaying in your head, that you're just thinking about, and you're wondering if it was the right choice. You know, you might have hit a fork in the road, and you picked one way, and you're wondering, you know, the what if. Here's the thing. Unless you're able to take that other route that you once chose, that fork is no longer there, and it's gone, and you made that choice. You have to trust and you know, have peace with the choice you made. You're really being asked to make peace with that choice. But here's a so for some of you guys though, that big choice that you've been rethinking, okay, let me gather here. Alright, there's a certain percentage of you guys who made a choice recently, within the last 6 months or so, last year, and you've been thinking a lot about it, feeling like you made the wrong choice. Why are you thinking that? Because your intuition is trying to go, bing, you made the wrong choice. I wanted you to make a different choice. So if you're overplaying this thinking, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Like, there's a reason for that. That needs to be addressed. So take some time to think about that situation, because you might have made the wrong choice for yourself. There's no right and wrong decisions in life, but for yourself, what resonated with you. So if you're feeling that way and you're able to change directions in that situation, this is your time to think about that. But for the other half of you guys who maybe made this choice a while ago, and you're just feeling guilty for the choice you made, so that's what I'm hearing, guilt. So if you're feeling like you made a choice for yourself and you were secure in that choice, but you're also feeling guilt, you need to release that guilt. That's no good. So the real message here is to tune into yourself with whatever choice in your past is haunting you right now, whether it be with a person or something you did. Tune into yourself, because you already have all these answers. That's the thing. You might be watching this or other pick a card readings or asking others because you're wanting insight. And I'm here to tell you that you have all these answers. You really do. Stop blinding yourself. And I say that lovingly, like, take off the blindfold and come into this energy of being at peace and trusting yourself. That's big. If you can't trust yourself, how can you trust the universe? How can you trust others? You know, that's foundational to trust yourself. What else is going on here? So within this lesson, to let go of the past and to really be present right now, I'm seeing that there is one last thing that you're gonna have to go through before you master this lesson. So it's not quite, I'm feeling like you're right in the middle of this, of learning this right now, of how to be present and in the now. And I'm feeling like there is something coming in the near future that is going to be a setback for you. It's going to feel that way, and it's an obstacle, but it's not presented to be that way. It's presented because it's that last, big event that it's your chance to learn. It's your chance to really remember that you need to let go of the past and the future and work with right now. So I'm getting a strong message that you need to know that you're here right now, and remember this when this event occurs, because it's going to feel really heavy. It's dark. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything crazy. I'm not trying to scare you, but when something feels like it's being thrown in your path, understand that it's just a lesson. It's just that last obstacle. It's always darkest before dawn. So right when you feel like you're losing hope, everything changes, and that's exactly what's happening here. So remind yourself to be just present, because you're going to miss that. You're not going to have that peace if you're always worried and in your head, And just enjoy things, like when you go out with friends or whoever or yourself and you're doing something, try and stop and think I'm in this moment right now, I'm enjoying it, and I'm never going to be here again. Let's relish in that. It's weird, I'm already feeling towards the end of this reading my energy has toned down, the restlessness, the anxiousness. So that tells me that you're either resonating with this, it's making sense, or right now is that turning point in this lesson where you're starting to realize, I can't do this anymore. This is crazy. I'm feeling drained. I'm feeling restless. It's not working to do this. So if you're at that point, just know that you're really headed towards the end of the lesson, as long as you can understand why this dark cloud is coming whenever it does, or if you're in it right now, understand that after this passes is when the lesson's going to move out and a new cycle comes in. You're going to really feel this King of Wands energy. You're really going to feel empowered, like you learned something and it's fresh and light and it's good. So keep that in mind. That's all I'm getting for you guys in group 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please subscribe and like, comment. I can't stop saying but until next week, I hope you guys enjoy your week. Thank you for watching.